A very good morning to all my dear students of class 11 of all the three streams. Once again I am back with my English e-learning class. Today I am once again here with you all with the chapter The Browning Version by Terence Rattigan. Now students, in my previous class I have already told you about the author of this chapter, that is Terence Rattigan. Then I have also given you all the summary of this chapter, and I have told you all about the theme of the chapter and the justification of the title of this chapter. Now today I will be explaining to you the chapter line by line, and I will be explaining to you page numbers 50, 51 and 52. And in my next class I will be continuing the rest of the parts which will be left. My dear students, you look into page number 50. This is an excerpt from the Browning version. The scene is set in a school. Frank is young and Crocker Harris middle-aged. Both are masters. Taplow is a boy of 16 who has come in to do extra work for Crocker Harris. But the latter has not yet arrived, and Frank finds Taplow waiting. So what do these lines mean? The scene is a short extract from the play The Browning Version. Taplow is a boy aged 16 who arrives at the school to do extra work for Mr. Crocker Harris, who was his teacher. He meets another teacher, Frank, and engages in a conversation with him while waiting for Mr. Crocker Harris. Frank is another teacher of that school who is young in age, and Mr. Crocker Harris is middle-aged. You look into page number 50. The conversation begins between Frank and Taplow. Frank: do I know you? Taplow: no, sir. Frank: what's your name? Taplow: Taplow. Frank: Taplow? No, I don't. You are not a scientist, I gather? Taplow: no, sir. I am still in the lower fifth. I can't specialize until next term. That's to say, if I have got my remove, all right. Frank: don't you know if you have got your remove? Taplow: no, sir. Mr. Crocker Harris doesn't tell us the results like the other masters. What do these conversations between Frank and Taplow mean of page number 50? Frank saw Taplow and asked his name and in which class he studies. Taplow answers him and tells him that he studies in the lower fifth standard and he cannot specialize until he gets his division, that is, remove. Frank asked him whether he got the remove or not, and Taplow replied that his master, Mr. Crocker Harris, doesn't reveal the information like other masters. Now see students, here the meaning of remove is a division in British schools. Students, now you come to page number 51. Frank: why not? Taplow: well, You know what he's like, sir? Frank, I believe there is a rule that form results should only be announced by the headmaster on the last day of term. Taplow, yes, but who else pays attention to it except Mr. Crocker Harris? Frank, I don't, I admit, but that's no criterion. So you have got to wait until tomorrow to know your fate. Have you? Taplow, yes, sir. What do these conversations of Frank and Taplow mean? Of page number 51. Frank asked if Mr. Crocker Harris doesn't reveal the remove earlier like other masters. Taplow tells him that he already knows how Mr. Harris is. Frank supposes that there is a rule that the form result should be revealed on the last day of the term. Taplow agrees and told him that Mr. Harris follows it very seriously. Frank shares that he doesn't follow it, but still Taplow should wait until tomorrow to know his result, to which he agrees. Students, you look into the next conversations that carries between Taplow and Frank of page number 51. Frank, supposing the answer is favorable, what then? Taplow, oh, science, sir, of course. Frank, sadly, yes, we get all the slackers. Taplow, protestingly, I am extremely interested in science, sir. Frank, are you? I am not. Not at least in the science I have to teach. Taplow, well, anyway, sir, it's a good deal more exciting than this muck, indicating his book. Frank, what is this muck? Taplow, Aeschylus, sir, the Agamemnon. Frank, and your considered view is that the Agamemnon is muck? Taplow, well, no, sir, I don't think the play is muck. Exactly. I suppose, in a way, it's rather a good plot. Really, a wife murdering her husband and all that. I only meant the way it's taught to us. Just a lot of Greek words strung together and 50 lines if you get them wrong. What do these conversations mean? Frank asks Taplow about what remove he is interested to take further, and he replies science. Frank tells him that they have some lazy students in science, to which Taplow clarifies that he is interested in the subject. That is why he wants to take it. Frank tells him that he is not interested in science, which he has to teach in the school. Taplow thinks that the subject that Frank teaches is still a good deal than the book he is currently reading. Upon asking about the book, Taplow tells him about the name of the author and the book, Aeschylus, the author, and the Agamemnon is the name of the book. Taplo further shares his view about the Agamemnon. He thinks the plot is good, but the way those Greek words are taught to them combined together is useless. Now see students, here the meaning of the word slackers means lazy students who are not motivated. The meaning of muck is useless, which is of no good or use. The meaning of Aeschylus, he was an ancient Greek tragedian who is referred to as father of tragedy. What is the meaning of the word Agamemnon? Agamemnon was the king of Mycenae in Greek mythology. Then the meaning of the word strung together is to combine two different things into something useful. Look into the last 5 conversations which took place between Frank and Taplo of page number 51. Frank, you sound a little bitter. Taplo, I am rather, sir. Frank, Captain, Taplo, no sir, extra work. Frank, extra work? On the last day of school? What do these last 5 conversations between Frank and Taplo mean? On criticizing the book, Frank tells him that you are sounding a little bitter about Mr. Crocker Harris. Further, Frank asks him if he is staying in school as a punishment, to which Taplo replies that he is in the school on the last day of the term due to extra work. Now students, you look into page number 52. Taplo, yes sir, and I might be playing golf. You would think he would have enough to do anyway himself, considering he is leaving tomorrow for good. But oh no, I missed a day last week when I was ill. So here I am. And look at the weather, sir. Frank, bad luck. Still there's one comfort. You're pretty well certain to get your removed tomorrow for being a good boy in taking extra work. Now what do these conversations of Mr. Frank and Taplo mean? When Mr. Frank asked Taplo that on the last day of school he came for extra work, at that time Taplo replied that he was ill last week, due to which he was absent for a day, for which he is compensating now by doing extra work. He further says that he feels that Mr. Harris also has extra work for himself because he is leaving tomorrow for good. Harris didn't have any extra work, and yet with such a good weather he has to come to school. He also adds that he wanted to play golf at that moment. Frank comforts Taplo by saying that he will get his remove tomorrow due to the extra work he is doing for Mr. Harris. Look into the next conversations of page number 52. Taplo, well, I'm not so sure, sir. That would be true of the ordinary masters, all right. They just wouldn't dare not to give a chap a remove after he's taking extra work. But those sort of rules don't apply to the croc, Mr. Crocker Harris. I asked him yesterday outright if he would given me a remove, and do you know what he said, sir? Frank: no. What? Taplow, imitating a very gentle, rather throaty voice: my dear Taplow, I have given you exactly what you deserve, no less and certainly no more. Do you know, sir, I think he may have marked me down rather than up for taking extra work. I mean, the man's hardly human. He breaks off quickly. Sorry, sir. Have I gone too far? Frank: yes, much too far. Taplow: sorry, sir. I got carried away. What do these conversations mean? Frank asks Taplow what Mr. Harris told him upon being asked about his remove. Taplow imitates Mr. Crocker Harris and told him exactly what his master answered him. Mr. Harris told him that he will get what he deserves, nothing less and nothing more. Taplow feels that he might have marked him down for taking extra work because he doesn't have human feelings. Then he realizes that he has said too much. Therefore, he apologizes to Frank. Students, you look into the last 6 conversations which took place between Frank and Taplow of page number 52. Frank: evidently, he picks up a newspaper and opens it. Taplow: Taplow: yes, sir. Frank: what was that Crocker Harris said to you? Just repeat it, would you? Taplow, imitating again: my dear Taplow, I have given you exactly what you deserve, no less and certainly no more. Frank, looking severe: not in the least like him. Read your nice A-scalars and be quiet. Taplow, with dislike: A-scalars? What do these conversations mean? Frank asked him to repeat what he just said about Mr. Crocker Harris, and Taplow starts imitating him again. Frank tells him that his imitation is not close to Mr. Harris's way of saying things, and he told him to read his book, A-scalars. Students, I hope that you all have understood this page numbers 50, 51 and 52 clearly. And in my next class, I will be continuing my explanation as I have told you that from page number 53, I will be explaining to you all. So, for today, thank you students. Bye-bye. Stay safe.